Hey guys, how's it going? Destry here, and in this video, I'm going to be doing uh, a how-to sort of like a little tutorial on Bleak Faith Forsaken. If you don't know what this game is, it's a Souls-like game that came out sometime last year or the year before, I think. And when it came out, it was in a real rough state. There was parts of it that were unfinished, and it had a lot of performance issues. All in all, it wasn't the best game, and it left a sour taste in a lot of gamers' mouths. I still really liked the game for what it was, even with all the issues, just because I felt there was something there that captivated me a little bit, and that was really like the world building, um, and that's mainly it. The combat hasn't always has never been the main focus point of this game. It's gotten a lot better since day one. That's one of the reasons I am making this video. They recently left. They recently left. They recently updated the game with some new starting stuff. Like right now, this set that I'm wearing is new to this update. Before, I think you just started naked. So now you start with this like jumpsuit thing on, which I think looks really cool. And there's a couple different enemies, and the boss at the end of this has been adjusted. I think that was done before the last update, but I remember he used to be a real pain in the ass beforehand, and he's a lot easier now. He's a lot more manageable, in my opinion. I think he's better now for being the first boss that you fight in this game. I felt before he was a bit too much. Like, yeah, you can get past him, but I think it was more difficult than it needed to be perfectly honest. But yeah, so what I'm mainly going to be doing in this video is going through the first level, uh, kind of as thoroughly as I know how to. What I mean by that is there might be things here and there that I'm missing, but for the most part, it should be pretty thorough run through of this area. And I will say now, one of the things that I do really like about this game actually is the interconnectivity. It reminds me a lot of Dark Souls 1, maybe even a bit more than that to a certain extent. Because, like, for instance, this first level you see here, I'm going to get to some parts where you might feel like this is just a totally separate area of the game. No, it's still part of the first level. You'll see what I mean as we get to it, but before we actually progress, I'm going to show you guys some of the items that you can grab. For instance, if I didn't take that little path down there, you'll come back here. You want to grab this. That gives you a couple items. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to go into the settings real quick. I want to show kind of what my settings are for some of these things, because if you've never played this game before, the controller setup might be a bit off to you. It might take a little bit getting used to. So, for instance, the heavy attack is normally not R2. It's normally L1 and R1. That to me felt off, so I changed it to R2. But R2 was also the interact button, how you pick up items, talk to NPCs, stuff like that. So, I changed that to triangle to make it more like Elden Ring. And triangle was initially set as the first active ability. You can see I changed that. You can change it to whatever you want. And I don't mess with anything else here. There's one more thing I want to show as soon as I find it. When this game first came out, a lot of the performance issues were due to the fact that the whole game was really seamless. You can go from one area to another, and while some of them were just a series of corridors, some of them had these big, grandiose transitions, you would say. But that was taxing on a lot of computers, especially those that had lower end specs. So by default, this option here, seamless transition, will be shut off for that issue. So instead of having the just walking from one area to the next, you'll hit a loading screen and it'll deload the area you were in and it will load up the new area. And that's fine, especially if you have a lower end PC. You should probably just keep it like that. But for me, in terms of like the world building and the immersion, and my computer can run this, I'm gonna leave it on, or I'm gonna turn it on rather. I already have it turned on because I've done this for my main playthrough. But yeah, that's just one thing I want to make you guys aware of. You can mess with all these other ones if you choose to try out this game, but I'm going to leave the rest of them as is for now, unless I feel like I need to change something. So, as for the updates, for anybody who's played this game before, or even if you haven't, I'll try to describe how the game was and is. And I'll start with how it is. It is still pretty buggy. There's still a couple of bugs. Nowhere near as bad as how it was when it first came out, but it's still rough. You'll probably see some things here as I play through this beginning area. But things are a lot better now. One of the things that was changed, it'll say it down there. Try to remember what that says. Essentially, after you use a ladder for the first time, you can teleport to either side of the ladder by standing next to it and holding triangle. Mind you, you have to use the ladder the first time, so you have to actually climb the ladder or descend the ladder. With some exceptions, just remember what it said to do that, because there's no other, a prompt won't come up to, like, I can hold it now and it'll just say you haven't used the ladder. But I do think if the devs end up watching this, maybe putting a little notification down there that just says hold triangle to teleport or something. Because I know I stopped playing the game for a while. I think when I stopped playing was even before they added that feature. And when I came back, it showed me, but then I almost immediately forgot that you can do that. Make sure to read the stuff at the bottom about the combat. Now, when you get here, there's three ways technically you can go. This explains how combat works. Don't spam. If you hit the buttons at the right time, you'll use a little less stamina and you'll do a bit more damage. You can go through all of these as you wish. I'll leave them up on screen for a little bit just so you guys can pause the video if you want to watch or if you want to read through the whole thing. All right. Anyways, there's three ways we can go. The front way, well, is the kind of intended path. If you want, you can get through this whole area in only a couple of minutes. You just go up the stairs and kind of follow the main path, and you'll get to the boss pretty quickly. Outside of that, there's also this little path down here, and there's another path going this way. I did not see him pull up. So combat will feel pretty Souls-like. I will say I like the sound effects and some of the animations, especially when you're blocking or parrying. It has a very Sekiro vibe to it. It doesn't play like Sekiro, like it's not as tight as that, but it does feel pretty good. One thing that I will say, just so you guys know, the stamina regen is very, very slow. That might get better the further on you get into the game, but that is one main thing when it comes to kind of the back and forth you do with this game. All the Souls games generally have a type of back and forth until you're just so overpowering that it doesn't matter anymore. And this one is you're going to be playing a lot of waiting because you're going to be waiting for your stamina to go back up. And another thing is this roll. When the game first came out, well, first off, there is an option to do a dash and a roll. To where if you hit it once, you'll dash, you hit it twice, you roll. I set it up to where you just do the roll because for me, it was a bit glitchy doing both at the same time. But also, in one of the updates, they added the ability of iframes for your rolling. Which, if you notice, when you roll, you kind of turn invisible for a second. That didn't used to be like that. And also, there is an item that we grabbed earlier. Let me go ahead and put these on now. Called it the Talisman. Tactician's Talisman. This removes the ability to have iframes if you want to play the game like how it used to be. I am not doing that because I enjoy kind of playing it like a regular Souls-like game where you can roll through attacks. But anyways, we're down here. We're not going to go through there. You can, but I feel like you might have a bit of issues when you're first starting out the game. We're going to go a different way to actually get into combat. Before then, though, there's actually a secret if you go down this way. This might take me a bit, so if I don't get this first try, I'll just cut out all of my failures until I get the correct attempt. But you're going to jump on this pole and then jump on that platform there. Like I said, it's probably going to take me a couple tries, so don't feel bad if you don't get this first try either. Yep, that's what I figured. All right, so I got it the very next attempt. So I guess I didn't really need to cut out at all. But anyways, once you get up over here, you're gonna climb here, and there's gonna be a little item here. This isn't the item we're looking for, but you always want to grab these because you're always gonna get some health, which is that lesser restorative fluid. That is your like main, well not main, but that is your like minimum health. You can also climb ledges. That's a little finicky. It looks like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we can go ahead and talk to this guy.
That's quite the leap you made down there. I hope you weren't expecting to find something special up here. Why don't you have a seat? You look tired. It's quiet here. You may find yourself reminiscing the quiet moments. You may find yourself reminiscing the quiet moments.
All right, so the item we actually want is right there. In order to reach it, just make a quick little jump here, and you're going to want to do a running jump to get onto that platform there. And here we go. We have gotten the Traveler Cape. Not only do I think this looks cool, it also gives you a 5% movement speed buff. There we go, looking spiffy. And anyways, we're going to go ahead and get back down to where we were and actually go forward and do some combat. And if you want to see, by the way, in order to get back to where you were, you can just follow where I'm going now, get on the awning, and then you're back here. Now, like I said, instead of going that way, which might give you some issues, I'm going to go this way. It'll all kind of leap around. Oh, I just remembered we actually can't go back that way, so we are going to do this. But that's still fine. So, I'm going to go ahead, and there's going to be a guy over here. We also have the teleporting bastard. Go ahead, and the combat, especially if you set up the controllers the way that I did, it'll feel very familiar, but you will see the impact sounds are great. The actual flow of like when you hit the button and stuff happens might seem a little off at times. Like I said, the game, its combat's a lot better, but it's still not really the main focus of this game. At least I don't think so. Which can be a put off for a lot of people because if you're playing a Souls game, combat is one of the main parts of that, and that is true. It's also why some people will not recommend this game to others, and I completely understand that. I, however, like I said, if you've played the game before, if you already own it, give it another try. Watch out for these bomber people. Yeah, you don't want to deal with that. Now, that over there with the white light, that's a mini boss. We are not going over there in this video because he has kicked my ass a couple times and I don't want to deal with that again. So, while we're in here, excuse me. Sorry, microphone was moving around, thought it fell off. Now, there's a couple ways we can go from here. We go back the way we just were. There is a different area we can go to, but we will also get back to that later. For now, let's go up here and see what's this way. Now, you do want to be careful because a lot of those exploding robots will they have a tendency to be on stairs or places where they can knock you off the map and kill you. So just be careful of that. Also, these guys are new. They were added, and as again, I think they fit better for being in a starting area. They do a lot of damage, but they're slow. So they're pretty easy to you can easily tell what they're going to do. You can just kill them pretty quickly. And as you can see here, you level up kind of in like an regular RPG, where you don't level up via a bonfire or anything like that. You just level up as you play the game. And then you can put points in whatever you want as you level up. You do kind of want to be careful around the corners because you can get knocked off of stuff. All right, and this is actually taking us to a further little spot. This is all still the first area, mind you, but taking us somewhere a little different. I need to get a new weapon. As for death, as far as I know, death doesn't have any like real consequences outside of just you have to, run through the level again. I haven't seen it take like resources or anything. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's how it is. Almost got too greedy there. But yeah, I might not talk through every single portion of this. It's more just so you guys can get a feel for the level. I might cut out some stuff if it's just me running around, but everything you're going to see is, like I'm saying, still part of the first level. Oh, almost didn't see you there. See if I can get a parry. Nope, never mind. Try it again. There we go. That's what a parry looks like. I think if you get a perfect parry... Oh shit. Yeah, you are pretty squishy in this game. So be careful, even though they hit slow, if you are sloppy, they will kill you pretty quickly. Yeah, the ability to dodge through attacks makes this feel so much better. Especially the boss. I don't know about any of you who have played the game already, or played it before, but I had the hardest time with the first boss of this game, like the boss of this area. Just because I felt he was, like, there wasn't really a way for me to dodge his attacks correctly. Like, mainly you're just supposed to either parry him or just run out of the way, but that didn't seem to work well with me. So now he's a lot more manageable. Some will say it just feels a little cheap because now it just makes the encounters feel a lot easier. And I mean, yeah, to an extent, but at least for me, like this is the beginning of the game. It should not be super difficult, and it was more so difficult in the way of because the game was kind of such a buggy mess that it just didn't really feel all that fun. Hopefully, I'm making sense. I don't know. It's not a Souls like game if you don't have people that look like they're dead. I don't know the lore on this guy. All I know is that he does not look like he is having a good time. Also, what I said about using the ladders, that also includes when you pull down a ladder or like you unlock it. That also is shown as using it. So now I can hold triangle. Oh no, guess not. Could have sworn I was just playing yesterday and I was able to teleport down a ladder without using it if I did that. Oh well. Don't listen to me, I'm lying apparently. But yeah, now that I've used it, I can just hold triangle and it'll just teleport me back to the top of that ladder. It's a very handy feature. Nice to have, especially if you played the game before, because a lot of these ladders are crazy long, like almost unnecessarily, I feel. So it's nice to be able to just teleport um, up and down them, at least, after you've done it the first time.
Oh, you're not from around here. And you don't look plagued either. I don't suppose you remember what floor this is. You don't talk much, do you? A mute friend. Since we're friends now, I suggest you avoid the brute over there. I will tell you about myself, but I'm afraid I don't remember much. Part of a reconnaissance patrol. I don't remember much else. God Emperor, forgive me. Some the time I opened them, I'm somewhere else entirely. How I'm still alive must be a miracle in itself. Here, take this. It'll be of help along the way. I'm done for anyways. Good luck out there.
Yeah, some of these dialogues can take a little bit to get through. But if you remember this, this is just that beginning. Like, that's where we started the game at over there. This is just that front path I was talking about. Go ahead and take care of this guy real quick. Now, like I said, if you just want to get through this and get to the boss, you just follow these stairs up, follow the main path with those bridges. You'll come up on another. I don't remember what they're called right now off the top of my head. Um, there was one over there. It's basically your checkpoint, your bonfire or whatever. And once you get there, the boss is literally right around the corner. So if that's really all you want to do, you don't really want to explore, you can just go and do that. I wouldn't recommend it because I would recommend trying to find something a little bit better than a tire iron. Watch out for these guys. If you get hit by if you get hit by them, you will get ragdolled, probably off the map. It's happened to me more times than I'm willing to admit. Be careful because there's also another one of these. There they are. Just like to get their attention and then run away just to get them out of the way. Just be careful. I could have swore there was one more. Maybe not. Anyways, let's go ahead and take care of this guy real quick. But yeah, the actual like impact sounds of the weapons sound really good and it feels good. But there's still little problems here and there. I'm sure you see them. When you're playing it, it doesn't necessarily feel as good as a regular Souls game. Uh-oh. And when I say regular Souls game, I even mean things like Lies of P and Bloodborne and all the other stuff like that. And like I said, still some jank, still pretty janky. But you get used to that. You might be wondering why I decided to even start showing off this game in the first place. And really, it's because I just started playing it for a little bit the other day. So, just because I wanted to see, where it's at now. I know I still liked it even back then, even though it had a lot more problems. And I ended up playing it for way longer than I thought I would because just fell into it. Oh shit. There is limb dismemberment also. But I just kind of fell into it, and especially nowadays with how much, like how busy I've been with a lot of other stuff, I don't really just kind of fall into stuff anymore. It's not, I don't get the motivation for it. So it's usually rare when I'm playing something and I'm like, oh, I've actually been really enjoying this. And I got it with this game again. So I just figured, maybe if you played the game in the past, and you want to give it another shot, give it another shot. Go ahead and give it a try. See how you like it. See, I'm grabbing some stuff here. This is a very good one-handed sword. Even with just this right here, this weapon, I would say you're pretty good to go ahead and fight the boss if you want to. But we're going to keep exploring, grab a couple other things. Just because there's actually a good amount of stuff in this game that you can grab that feel pretty good to use. Like, in my opinion, some of the more heavy weapons, to an extent, actually feel pretty decent. Gotta be careful that I don't just dodge into their attack, because you can still get hit like that. There is also magic in this game. I'll showcase that a little bit later. Where am I here? Oh, okay. Yep. See, the first time I did this, I went through this part towards the end of my little play session of this first area. So I don't fully remember all this. Yeah, there's that down there. But this whole little area right here is somewhere you'll get to right after you go up that middle staircase section that I was talking about right near the beginning of the game. You'll end up where all those places are. That's again just showing off how interconnected this whole little game is here. But before I jump down there, I just want to make sure that I get everything up here. That is one thing, is you will go and be like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to head this direction, and then you'll find somewhere that looks like a little side thing, and then it's just leads to a whole another section of the map. Like, granted, it's all still part of that one section, but you're just like, man, it just keeps going and going and going. You look down there, that's where the big skeletal guy was that I was just down there a bit ago. And look at this, it's another ladder. And as again, that's the staircase right there. Let's go ahead and go down. As you can see here, it's a long ass ladder. I'm also glad they added the ability to slide down. I don't think that was in the game on release either. I think you just fast climb down. Don't quote me on that, I don't fully remember. Yeah, we can just follow this up here. Look around. You'll also find a lot of jank with like just the world environment in general. Like there's gonna be some places where if you really want to use the environment and kind of the physics to get somewhere, you can. Before I forget, grab that. Now, if you just remember, we were just up there. You can see right here, we just unlocked some new stuff. Also, the archery, which I do enjoy in this game. Put that on. We also grabbed some other gear. That, for instance, we also got stalker outfit if you want it. I don't. I like the main chest piece I'm wearing, but you can change stuff up how you want. Got a little hood now. Go ahead and keep going. Here's another one of those things that I was talking about. And if you want to just get to the boss from here and not go through any of the extra exploration stuff, you just go up these stairs and he is just right there. You can see him right there. That's the boss. So you just go through this opening here and you can fight him. He's not too bad. Not anymore. I think he used to be a lot more difficult, but pretty easy to get through now. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I am going to go around his arena because there's a couple more items we can grab, and I want to get those before I decide to fight him. Oh shit. Also, if you want to grab what they had, if you want to change the weapons you have equipped, like you can see I have a bow on my back now, you hold your weapon change button. So for me, that's square. And then from here, use the bow. It looks a little weird, but shit. I got too close and I forgot they can teleport. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take them out like this. I will show off archery maybe a bit later. Maybe against some enemies that don't teleport. Oh, here we go. There's one. So you hold down, kind of like you would shoot an arrow in other games. You can hold it down to do a bit more damage, and also headshots do extra damage. There is a good chance you'll get at least some of your arrows back, but most of the time you'll get them back broken, so you have to go and repair them. I'm not going to worry about that though. You won't see that in this video. Go ahead and switch back to that. What you just saw there was a perfect counter, I think. When you do a perfect counter, you'll actually attack the opponent versus just kind of knocking them off balance. But yeah, as you can see, there's stairs that we can use, and there's also a little path right here. Actually, I think I'm going to do the stairs first. One of them takes you to a little alcove, I believe, and unlocks the Technomancer set, which is kind of what the magic is. Oh, actually, there it is right here. You might not be able to see that too well, but here is the Technomancer set. So if you want to use kind of a beginner magic build, I'll go ahead and just kind of show you what it looks like. I actually do like the set. I think it looks pretty nice. And then also, if you want to use the weapon, it's a two-handed weapon, so it takes up both slots. But yeah, cool is if you do a little walking animation. It's kind of like you're walking with it. It's a little bugged, but you know, I like that they tried. But you can also attack with it regularly. But if you hold the aim button, you can shoot stuff. And that uses that, I think, yeah, uses the little blue bar at the bottom. I'll just go ahead and go through the most of the rest of this like this. I'll change up later before I actually want to fight the boss. As again, here's another one of those little ladder things. And here's the shortcut to get to that little checkpoint up there. It's just on the other side of that ladder. Now we're going to go the other way because there's still a couple more things that I want to grab. I do like that if you have a weapon that's pretty long, all the sweeping attacks can hit multiple enemies. Hi. I'm making a video. And this is one of the main things here that I... Yes. So this is one of the main things here that I wanted to grab for the boss fight. It is the halberd. In my opinion, it is one of the better starting weapons here. I'm going to go ahead and put that on now. And just go ahead and switch back to the gear that I wanted to wear. Yeah, I think that's good for now. We're still not done yet grabbing stuff, but this will work for the moment. But yeah, I really like the halberd. Has a good move set, does good damage, especially at the start. as you can see. Also, we leveled up, so I'm going to show you how that works. So you'll know if you kind of don't pay attention to when you actually level up. It's going to have a little red exclamation mark next to whenever you can do something in a menu. So for here, it's a leveled up twice technically. And yeah, I think I leveled up twice. Level 3. Something like that. I don't know. um, you can put points wherever you want. I'm going to put... Oop, wrong button. Wrong button. I'm going to put 3 in strength and 3 in health. And that's what I like to start with. But yeah, we're almost with all of the equipment that I wanted to grab for this. And he hit me. Crap. Shit. But yeah, as you can see, we can take down the enemies a lot quicker now. There's just one more armor set that I want to grab before... Oh shit. Now, if you're wondering, I believe this ladder... Will it let me? It will. Okay. This is the one that we knocked down way earlier before we started going down the tower. As again, the interconnectivity is pretty cool. But we're going to go down this way because there is an armor set around here that I want to have, and that should complete kind of my setup for fighting the first boss. As I said, he's not difficult. You don't need to do all this if you don't want to. I just like to. Makes the boss fight go a little faster. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could just use the basic tire iron stuff you start the game with, but, well, I'm not going to do that. One thing I like, hopefully I don't grab it, okay. You can tell, like, if you go up to an enemy, or not an enemy, a piece of loot, and it's basically a whole armor set, like a dead person, that's the armor set you're going to grab. For instance, I got the Claymore and the Restless Knight set. I'm going to change that to that. Put on the shoulders. I don't know fully how encumbrance works. I'm going to leave the chest piece as is because I like it. But change just about everything else. As you can see, I'm at almost 100% encumbrance. I don't know if anything changes if you go over 100, but as far as I can tell, I don't think it takes any extra stamina. I might be wrong about that, I don't know. But that's not something we have to worry about right now. Let's go ahead and just finish up what we can do here. And then we'll go fight the boss. And we'll let you know anything else. Now, if you're wondering where we are, if you remember I said that's the mini-boss that we don't really want to mess with right now. And that's the stairway we were at right near the beginning of this video. Like I said, interconnectivity is crazy. But also, as again, we're not dealing with that right now, so we're gonna head backwards. Let's see what else. When it goes into like a weird slow motion like that, that usually means you lapped off a limb. In this case, I might have took his head off. Not sure. Now you might be wondering where we are. You might be wondering why this looks kind of familiar. And if you remember towards the beginning, I said there was a ladder that I wasn't going to touch because we were going to climb up the ladder. Well, look where we are. And also, I stand corrected about what I said earlier. You don't necessarily need to use the ladder as long as you have interacted with the top of the ladder and the bottom of the ladder. So technically, like as you saw, we are right back at the very beginning of the game. So we interacted with the top of it, went all the way around, interacted with the bottom. So now we have gone all the way back here. This is what I mean when I say interconnectivity. We literally went from near the end of the level all the way back to the beginning. But anyways, I think we have looked around enough. I'm going to go ahead and kind of fast travel my way back to the boss area. Hopefully it doesn't just teleport me here. Okay, nice and quick. So let's go ahead and take care of the first boss of the game, Conrad the Traitor.
I have not slept for a long while, and I know you won't leave until you get what you come for. Let us be quick then.
He used to have this big tornado attack that would follow you around the room for a bit, and that was really annoying. It looks like they toned him down a bit for that. Once you get him down to his last phase, I think he gets double speed or something. He gets faster attacks, but that's really about it. So yeah, not too bad. Used to be a lot harder. Now I feel like he's a decent enough challenge for people who are still new to the game. Obviously, if you've played the game a couple times, he's going to be a cakewalk. But that's neither here nor there. And that is where I'll cut off the video. Going through there will cause a scene transition, which you'll see the frame stuttering and all that stuff, but we don't really need to see that. I just kind of want to get through this first area. And I think I've covered most of it. I know there's a thing or two I missed, but if anything, here's a little guide on how to get some pretty decent starting equipment to take on the first boss. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.